Man, thanks for having me. Excited. There is no racetrack quite like Val de Sole.
I need to calm down a little bit. That was quite the junior women's.
It's fired up already.
Oh, Jack, leave some for the rest of us, mate. He's on course, the young Canadian. He's going to get started here today. Aaron, of course, you know all too well. You've had some fantastic races, rides, moments here in the Val di Sole Trentino Black Snake course.
Yeah, probably my favorite track on the circuit. It gives you so many opportunities to do things right, also to do things wrong. I love how wide this track is. I mean, as you can see on these camera shots, there isn't a technical section on this track. The entire track is a technical section, so there's lines and options pretty much every straightaway all the way down. So if you can really get practice right and take your time and find the lines that allow you to link this track together, it can really get good. But if you get it wrong, it is torturous. So yeah, one of the most challenging tracks I've ever ridden for sure. I've thankfully never had to ride it really in the mud like these guys have. We've got a running joke amongst the riders where it's like, if it ever rains at Val di Sole, we all die. So it's
and it rained a lot this week. Oh yeah. My goodness.
It's definitely the gnarliest I've ever seen.
As you can see through my course preview and the GoPro course preview, just a black and white difference in course. Deterioration here today. I mean, there's been springs uncovered in this track from the ruts being so deep that we've never seen before, Aaron.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of times we got, the night before practice, it rained almost all night pretty hard. So when the mountain gets that much water, it just starts pumping out of these springs like you're talking about. And then it never really dries up. You'll get these muddy sections that just stay muddy all weekend. And then, whoa. And once you ride through that, the water gets on the tires and then you drag it over all the roots in the next section. This is the section we were actually just talking about where one of those springs is the worst. Right here where Jack's getting ready to come into. This has been really wet all weekend. The course crew has done a good job right here, especially to try to keep the water running off the track because it's just pumping out of the side of the hill. Definitely looks better today than it has.
Oh, inside there. That was impressive from young Jack.
That was nice.
Carrying great speed. This is a solid run to start from the young Canadian here. From the Outlaw United team. We might have spoke too soon.
Yeah, he's making it look easy, if I could say that. He's flowing. Oh, definitely getting all of the traction out there.
Absolutely no respect for the trail builders in some of our early booms. But we love to see it. Kicking off our junior men's final with style and flair. He's almost home here. As you can see, he's our first rider on track, so he is going to set our time to beat here today.
Yeah, he's looking strong down here at the bottom. This is usually that part of the track where the arms and hands really start to give out. You kind of start to get into survival mode. I think mentally down here is the most important thing to kind of stay in it here. You got to kind of keep fighting, but he looks strong here. It doesn't look like he's collapsing on the bike too much.
That's right, charging hard all the way to the finish, taking some very delicate and detailed lines through those lower rock gardens there.
Yeah, he's kind of keeping the back strong, standing pretty tall on the bike. That's a good sign. When riders start to collapse over over the bars, but he's hanging on to it. This is a good run.
This is a great run and a great run to start our junior men's final. He's coming into the final massive bowl turn, which is so much more difficult than that looks, Aaron. Coming across the line, he's got one straightaway to go. Everything he's got, all the killer wasps he has left to kickstart his racing calendar. He's going to set our fastest time that we've seen so far, only time that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Young Jack, that was an incredible run. Nice. That was very impressive to watch.
Yeah, that was solid.
Ryan Griffith from the Pivot Factory Racing Team, another young Canadian. He's been growing and riding from strength to strength. It does look a little bit slimy up the top there. He's got that big, long, lanky style. Bit of Flo Payette-esque.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is looking good for him. Yeah, I was curious to see how Ryan was going to do. I could tell he was disappointed with his quali yesterday. It looked like he had a couple issues and just squeaked it in. Putting it together here for finals. Good to see. Squamish kid, so he'll be used to riding in these conditions a little bit.
And he's put in a solid run so far. He's been up at every split, and he's got 1.2 up at the fourth split, so he's been charging hard this entire run. He sprints across that line, puts all that long leverage to good use. See if he can hold on and take that hot seat from young Jack, and he does. Takes 1.8 out of him. Hasn't quite cracked that 4-minute mark yet. Do you think the track's running a bit slipperier here today?
Yeah, I think so. I was talking to some guys this morning. It sounds like we actually got a little rain on the top quarter of the track this morning. It's kind of misting a little right now, but thankfully it's holding off at least all the heavy stuff. But yeah, definitely a little slick up here this morning.
William Pugh on track right now. You can see the GB flag flying high at the top of our circuit. Oh, big G out into that section.
Yeah, the holes at the bottom of this track, man, when you're kind of just hitting these big steps, kind of smashing into into the corners. It's like you're doing 5,000 push-ups a run here.
And then some. Wow. So we've got to hold it on all the way to the finish line here. We've seen a couple of little slide outs and the lads working on that final corner there just to get rid of the slop and mud. How difficult is this final G out, Aaron? We're going to talk about this a lot today, but that must be so hard when your arms are already cooked.
Yeah, the braking bumps coming into that big pole turn in the finish. We've seen riders like Joe Breeden last year have some insane moments. Oh, scrub. Nice boy.
Yeah, boy. So he's 12.6 back. William Pugh. It's a smooth run. It's a clean run.
Looks like he's enjoying himself. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Survived the weekend of Val de Sole.
He survived, and he comes down in style here. George Madley from the Madison Saracen factory team here. He's out of the gate, pushing hard in those early corners here. So difficult to navigate when it's such a simple part of the track, Aaron.
Yeah.
Before it gets real wild, real fast.
Yeah, these top turns definitely aren't easy, but they allow you to get in with some good speed.
He comes down through this Motul section here, in a section that's caused havoc all week. Oh, Hughie! Oh, he's Ronan done it.
I was just going to say we saw Ronan do the same thing in practice, I think, yesterday morning.
Let's take a closer look at what unsettles him here. He just gets a little wide on those roots. Maybe zapped a little bit of speed over this little drop. Oh, no. Wow, that's a huge impact.
Yeah,
look
he's
how
all right
far he just launched down the hill here. That must be a 20-foot drop. Oh, hopefully he's okay, young George. That's a big impact. Seth Stiley, another fast Kiwi, getting faster and faster every single race here. So we hope George is okay. Huge impact, especially at that point of the race when your heart rate's already just thumping, Aaron.
Yep, yeah, 100% hard to take that one. That rock section is so steep right there. If you roll it like that, you almost hang a chain guide, stuff the front wheel like he did. How about Seth riding Val de Sole in the rain gloveless? Attaboy.
Attaboy, what a savage. Seth Stiley, he puts in a 4:05 and he's going to go 4 seconds back into third place for the moment. That is a feat in itself. Val de Sole, no gloves, in the rain. No worries for the young Kiwi. So the Canadian strength continues to grow. Loic Hudden, apologise if I've got that one wrong, from Canada. He'll be charging hard. He's made his way down.
Yeah, it looks like he's had a problem. He was up coming through the second split. Must have had a big crash. Kind of tell it in his riding style. Looks like he's kind of chilling a little bit. Hopefully he's doing all right. Unfortunately, I think we're probably going to see a little bit of that today. It's there's just not enough grip in the track, and this track is so hard. One little mistake. Actually, it looks all right on the splits now that we're seeing it. He's in touch.
Just slightly drop back each sector there, so just slightly off the pace. Or our young athletes earlier have just put in a great run. Ryan Griffith still continues to lead, hold down that hot seat.
Yeah, my bad. I think I was looking at the splits from the last rider.
Ollie Clark in the gate from Junior Sinter Factory Racing Team. Another strong and young Kiwi, eager to put it together here today. I mean, it must be so difficult, Aaron, to navigate when it does get dry, it does feel grippy, then all of a sudden some of these sectors are just not drying out.
Yeah. Oh,
all the way.
Yeah, that was nice. That's completely blind coming over that rock there. You got a couple different options. He went for the deepest one.
He's well in touch. You can see he's been negative splitting almost his entire run here. He's 0.6 off at split 4. This is going to be spicy coming across the line. Let's see what he's got for us. Ollie Clark obviously charging hard in that final rock step down there. Soaks up that final jump. What's he got for us? Ollie Clark goes into the lead. 0.6 up. Only just. But Ollie Clark is our new hot seat leader here today in our junior downhill men's.
Yeah, nice one. I think that's going to be the difference. The riders that can trend in the right direction all the way through the bottom of the track and be able to finish those last couple splits strong. I think that's where it's going to be won or lost today.
Isaac, Rudy Icorn from the Kenyan Collective FMD team. Whoa,
let's go. Backing it into the second turn already. You can see the water kind of fly up there when he started drifting too, so it's still wet up there.
It's still wet, going for those inside lines. Reese Wilson-esque. He seems he's been in touch the whole run. He's lost a little bit of time between Sector 3 and Sector 4. So he's 2.7 back here, but see if he can make that up. He might have made a small mistake as he comes into the final jump over 20 meters off the Red Bull step down there.
Yeah, this is what I was just talking about. You want to trend in the right direction at the bottom. If you go real hard at the top, you got to make sure you got the legs and arms to kind of sustain it down here.
So he's just dropped off the pace a little bit towards the back. He's put in a 4:05, so maybe that physical effort up the top, Aaron, might have caught up with him a little bit there.
Yeah, possibly.
Gavin Tomlinson from the Gravity Collective. Oh, no, I've missed my start sheet here. No, that is Noah. Noah Hurst Walker from GB.
Yeah, kind of a cool story with this kid. I think he lives and trains in Spain quite a bit of the year, so not too far from here.
That aggressive start, you can see he was 1.4 up there. He's just slid off the back a little bit towards the middle. Maybe pushed a little bit too hard in that upper sector. He's slightly going down. 1.4 back at split 4, but he's charging to the line here. Let's see whether he can finish his run off.
Yeah, solid run. And as we're seeing already, the times are going to be extremely tight today. Good effort to the line. Gets that scrub.
Oh, yeah, aggressive to the line. And Noah comes down. He goes into 4th place for the 4:03. With such a technical track here, Aaron, are you expecting our times towards the end of the day to be tighter or more blown apart? Qualifying, we saw some huge time gaps that we haven't seen in a long, long time as Gavin Tomlinson takes to the track.
Yeah, come on, Gav. Excited for this kid. Let him borrow my shoes for track walk the other day after practice. Typical junior move. Showed up with no shoes.
Classic.
But such a good kid here. Good to see him putting one down and having that consistency. Nice inside line over there.
We've seen times in the Sector 3 and Sector 4 start to drop off consistently here. So I wonder if it is starting to rain a little bit more at the top of the hill.
Yeah, these guys have been pretty fast at the top, but Ollie was so fast down here in these last couple of splits, making up that time. It's hard, man. When you get tired at the bottom of this track, it can really get away from you pretty quick.
Real quick, especially if a bit of rain starts to fall midway down the hill. It's quite a high track here, so Gavin Tomlinson puts in a 4:08. That's good enough for 8th place now. How much will rain affect this track right now, Aaron?
If it really starts to rain, it will affect it a ton. The trees here are really thick, so it does take a while for the rain to get through the trees in a lot of sections, but once it does, it goes away pretty fast. So hopefully we can avoid the heavy rains. If it stays light like this, it'll be pretty good.
We can see some brollies up at the top of the hill as Ryder Lawrence and the Intense Factory Racing team on track. So he'll be eager to see if it's wet or not. He's put in a solid run so far. He was up at the first split and he's maintained that advantage the whole way. He was 0.3 up at split 4 as he's coming down through the final 2 corners here. Ryder Lawrence has put in a great run so far. Not scared of the wet weather whatsoever.
He's got to push. He's going to be close.
He's sprinting to the line. What has Ryder Lawrence got for us? He goes into 3rd, so he's just dropped back. 1.4 in the end, so a 4:01 for Ryder Lawrence on that Intense Factory Racing bike. So he started strong, maybe got held up a little bit in that really, really gnarly middle section here. Mike Hooter put in a super exciting and wild ride last weekend in Leogang. Can he clean that up here today to get back on the podium? Aggressive out of the start, Aaron.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's good here. You got to be aggressive out of the start. You kind of got to set the tone for the run. Try not to find yourself in a hole by the time you get through those first couple of splits. He's keeping it in touch here, but this is going to be a tough one. Ollie was so strong at the bottom of the track here. I don't expect him to pull all this back, but these guys are really tied up towards the front here, so if he can link these last couple of corners together, got to be in the right gear coming out of this right-hander here. Really get on top of it to sprint to the line. Looks pretty strong to me.
Looking super strong, that's right. He's still charging to the line. He had a bit of a yo-yo, a few split times there, but he's going to come across the line in 6th position. 4:05, just 4.5 back from Ollie. So we're getting down right into the thick of it now. Oriol Kudrat Castells from Spain, from the Muck Off Young Guns, is out on course at the moment. Oh, yeah, that inside corner is getting wetter and wetter. I wonder if they're trying to avoid those massive ruts there. Ah! Hold on to it, Oriol.
Yeah, as you can see, there's very little dirt in this track. It's just kind of all rocks and roots. You kind of get the flow and you put the tires in the right spot, things go pretty good. But if you just get a couple inches outside the line you want to get on, it can get away from you pretty quick.
Get away from you real quick. As he comes down into the final section of track here, he's just slid back a little bit incrementally. Each split, he's 3.6 back at split 4. And as he sprints to the line, we're eager to see what time he can put in. He throws the Sam Blenkinsop ET to the line and goes 9th place today, 5.4 back. 9th place for young Oriol. It's a great start. Johnny Mosel, the big man from Canada. What's he got for us? He's riding for the We Are One Momentum project.
Yep, teammates with Mark Wallace and some of those boys. We know they can ride in the mud, so I expect he's going to be pretty solid, and he is.
So impressed with that blind step down to finish. He is well in touch. He's been getting faster and faster this whole way down the track here. He's 4.8 up at the 4th split. He's charging to the line. Another young fellow with no gloves, no worries.
Let's go, boy. This is a run.
Sprinting to the line. We saw some great results from John last year. What has he got across the line? He cracks that 4-minute barrier and goes 3:56 to claim the hot seat here today in dominant fashion. Over 4 seconds up on Ryan Griffith into 2nd now.
Yeah, that was a big run.
Big run, 3:56. That's times that's reminiscent of our elites. Incredible run from the young Canadian. Another young Canadian, Daniel Parfit, on track from BNC Racing. Number 8 on the front of his bike. He goes for the outside line, not scared of the ruts whatsoever. What's Parfit got for us? You can hear the dirt still nice and grippy in the bottom part, but you can feel the arm pump already.
Yep. Just starting to get away from him. He went a little deep off that drop and kind of had to S-turn his way around there.
You got a good
long off that.
Long. So good sector 2 and probably the gnarliest section of the track here, but he's just slid back for sector 3 and sector 4. He's sprinting hard to the line. Daniel Parfit, he just let that 4-minute barrier slip away. He goes for the 4:02, and he'll hold on to 5th position for the moment. Good run from Daniel.
We're down into 5th place right now, but he knows.
Key sector here today, Aaron. Which one are you thinking? Sector 2, sector 3? Zach Bradley in the start gate from Team High Country Australia.
I feel like it's going to be that sector 3 and 4, those last couple. I really think like there's a spot where there's a step down on the track about 3/4 of the way down, and that's usually where the arms are pretty cooked. If you can be strong from that point down and not give up time but actually make it when other riders are going to be going backwards, I think that's where we're going to see the time made up today.
Zach Bradley has been in touch this entire run, this brand new Australian team outfit, Team High Country, putting in all the effort to give some young Aussies a chance to race in the World Cup circuits. Goes 2.1 back from Johnny Mosel. We saw Johnny Mosel put in a great negative split track here, getting faster and faster, which is so difficult to do considering how hard it is. Zach Bradley's 2.1 back at split 3. He's still charging hard. Looks like he's got a little bit of gas left in the tank.
Yeah, this is the split I was just talking about. He went through that step down further up. I think this is all the stuff that's really going to make it or break it today. You got to be strong through here.
He likes that inside. We saw Sasha take the outside earlier, which created some great momentum to exit. But Zach Bradley looking strong and fast in the lower sector here, flicking his way around the outside. He's lost just a little bit more time to John, but John was on a great run the whole way down. Over the blind rock drop to finish. He's 5.1 back at sector 4. He's got a couple to go here. Give the arms a chance to recover before this final huge drop. Let's see what he drops to. Just about 17 meters down that hill. Get your fingers off those brakes, young Zach. All the way to the line. He should be happy with this. That's a good, solid run from the young Aussie. And he comes across the line. 6.3 back with a 4.02. Zach Bradley goes into 6th position right now for Team High Country.
Yeah, solid run from him. To be happy with that one.
He should be real happy. Now, Till Alran in the gate right now. We've seen him and his brother earlier in today's broadcast. Great to give an insight into these two young shredders. And Till's on track for the Commonwealth Muck-Off Riding Addiction team.
Curious how Till's going to do today. We've seen some big highs from his brother Max, who we're going to see here as the fastest qualifier in a little bit, but I think the best is still yet to come from Till. You got to think these types of tracks really suit these guys.
Why do you think it suits them, Aaron? Why do you think it suits them, Aaron? You think it's just the steep and deep tracks that they've grown up on before?
Yeah, I think so, and I think just their riding style. I mean, as we saw with Amory being the fastest qualifier in the semis yesterday as well, you got to feel like some of that's going to wear off. The French riders seem to have a habit of going fast when it's gnarly, especially these Commonwealth guys.
That's right, he's definitely moving fast at the bottom. He's 4.7 back into Sector 3. So Johnny Mosel from Canada has put in a fantastic run here today so far. We'll see if Till can make some magic happen towards the bottom part of this track. He's still charging hard, still carrying some great momentum.
Yeah, this is a good run from Till. I'm happy with what this is looking like. We've seen him look a little, maybe pushing that edge a little too hard in some of these other races. The Leo Gang last week and a few of the other ones. It looks like he's settled down a little bit, starting to find that flow, kind of that consistency, build that base. That was really nice off that rock, kind of got the perfect backside. This looks much more controlled.
Oh,
that was deep off of that.
Almost takes out a 20-meter. Send it, Mark. Gets nice and high in that final corner. Oh, that's a nice little sneaky line there. I like that.
Got to tuck that jersey in, boy. You got a half second right there.
Still Alran for the Commonwealth team across the line. He's 4.03. That's good enough for 8th place here today. So top 10 so far for Till. Luke Wayman. Kiwis coming out swinging in 2024 from the Gravity Cartel Rogue Racing team. What's Luke got for us? Why do so many Kiwis not like gloves?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sam Blankenship.
Well done, Blanky. Well done. The legacy lives on. All right, young Luke. He's 1.4 back. Not unachievable on a track like this. We saw Mosel pull back a lot of time in the lower sectors of this track. Sector 2, 3, 4. Luke is still in touch. He's 1.9 back. He's not losing too much time. So can he build in these final couple of sections?
Yeah, he's holding on to it. He's not losing too much. Still looks aggressive, kind of pumping those little things.
Luke Wayman second in Fort William. To be keen to get back on that podium as we see our fastest sector times. George Madley had the fastest first 2 sectors, and John Mosel and Ollie Clark, another Kiwi, had the fastest final sector. So what's Luke got for us? He can make up time towards the bottom here. You've heard Aaron mention it earlier, how crucial it is to arrive here composed, somewhat fresh, and charging. He's 4 back, so he has dropped back a little bit here. Bit over 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's hard because this bottom part of the track is also steep, so when you start to get tired, you still feel like you're riding pretty decent, and you think, oh, I can let up just a little bit, just try to be smooth down here. But I think when you want to win, you got to be able to really keep pushing at the bottom here. You can't just kind of let that track speed carry and be what it is.
The Luke Wayman across the line. For the Gravity Cartel Rogue Racing setup. He goes 3:59, breaks that 4-minute mark, and he'll go into second place here today. That's a solid result for Luke. He's into second. He's in for a chance of another podium here in Val di Sole, Trentino.
Nice run. This could be a big one.
Hauser. 7 riders to go here today. Christian Hauser, the Italian junior downhill champion from the Union team, forged by Steel Media.
Another one of those riders.
Media.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really feel like we haven't seen the best of this kid this year. Just trying to find that consistency a little bit, which I think is, I mean, in the junior class, that's the hardest thing to find, right? Just that week in, week out consistency, kind of finding those limits, knowing how hard to push. That was nice pre-hop into there.
That was a great pre-hop into there. That was extraordinary. I haven't seen that before. He's 1.3 back, so he's been in touch up the top. Is he starting to fatigue at the bottom here as he left something in the tank? Wearing that Italian sleeve with pride in his home country's race.
We're about to find out. This is where it's going to make the difference.
So he's 1.3 back. Aaron, there mustn't be more exciting moments than wearing the national championship sleeve in your home country, and especially in a place like Val di Sole. 1.3 back in split 3. He's about to drop into split 4. Has he made any time back? He's slightly slid back, so I think Johnny Mosel has made something special happen in the lower part of our track here today.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. He doesn't look bad. You can just tell that intensity is lacking just a little bit. He kind of looks like he's in survival mode, which is, I've definitely been there on this track as well before. Such a good feeling when you finally get to this part of the track and you pop out of the trees. You're still alive and you're still rolling. It's like, oh, we're almost home.
We're almost home. The crowd's going to go crazy for the junior national champion. Christian Hauser sprinting to the line. To the roars of the Italian crowd here. That's a great run for Christian Hauser. Puts in a 4:01, 5.1 back. And Johnny Mosel, has he done enough today? Has Mosel done enough to claim the victory? There are some big names to come. Milan Falquet from the Goodman Santa Cruz team. The young Frenchie, the French national champion. Here we go. He's going to come out of this start straight. He gets that inside line nice and smooth there. He's 3.8 up, Aaron. He's put in a heater for the first 2 splits.
I was going to say he's looking real aggressive coming out of those couple of first turns there. Oh, new line there outside in the grass, setting that up nice.
It's that slight pre-huff. Gets down the giant step down over the rock on the outside here. He's charging. Milan Falquet, he's 4.3 up, or split 3. He's coming into the second half of this course. Well, almost the last third of this course with some momentum and flair. We've seen a few riders get unsettled in this lower part before. Maybe a bit of fatigue setting in, maybe a bit of arm pump.
Yeah, you can see it though. The aggression's there. He's charging. This is what you got to do.
He's taken the fastest top 3 splits of the day. What has he got for us for our final 2? Is this a run to claim the hot seat? The French national champion charging down this technical and difficult track here.
Yeah, this is looking really good. I don't imagine he's going to be losing too much time right now.
Slaps into the pocket off that blind rock drop. He's 3.4 back. He's dropped a little bit, but he's still got a bit of a cushion. He enters the Val di Sole arena down here, launches to the 20-meter mark.
Nice one.
Oh, get some, Milan. Here we go. The French national champion charging to the line. He's got a slight lead up his sleeve. Will he knock Mosel off the hot seat? He will. Milan Falquet, 2.9 up. And our brand new hot seat leader here today for our junior downhill men's. Wow, that was solid. That was a great run.
Yeah, great run. Losing a little bit of time at the bottom, but he kept that intensity up, put enough in at the top. He was able to make it happen. Really good run. Really good run. Wow, that was impressive to see. Looking quite composed at the finish there. Not looking too broken. Bit left in the tank. Yeah. Rafael Giambi from the Gen S Specialized team, part of that new development program. Yeah, really cool what Specialized is doing with this program. These guys kind of have direct access to a lot of the resources, it seems, that the factory guys do, especially when it comes to some time from Loic Bruni himself, going to some of the training camps with these boys and kind of helping them out. That is a huge help as a junior. Looking good here. He's in touch. Looking good. He's in touch. He's just dropped back to 2.5 back. Aaron, in your position now, how valuable do you think that is to pass on your experience to these younger junior riders? Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I had some guys earlier in my career that, Sam Blinkenstoffer, we mentioned the gloveless wonder from New Zealand earlier. He was huge in helping me early in the years. Justin Leov, another Kiwi rider. Jared Graves. I had some really good teammates, in those younger years of mine. I learned so much, and they were, hold on to it, boy. Oh, Rafael, he's got a bit buck wild over that inside drop there. We just see he G'd out on some of those massive rocks in the landing. Let's have a look here. Just right into that big hole there. Good job to hold on to it. Man, what a shame. He's in that 50th anniversary Specialized jersey we're seeing the entire team wear this week. Oh, what a bummer. Unfortunately, that slid him out of our top few ranking here, so hopefully he's okay. Here we go. Our overall series leader. That's right, Dane Jewett from the Pivot Factory Racing team. This guy has been so consistent this year. The only junior so far that hasn't thrown away a run, and he's trending in the right direction every race, doing a little better. I love this kid's style on the bike, how he kind of hops around, super light, interesting, like, just good. There it is again. Finds those little doubles. That's important here in Val d'Isole, because if not, you end up just kind of smashing into everything. You got to be light on the bike.
So charging hard around that outside there, carrying some fantastic speed, and by far the gnarliest part of our Val d'Isole track here. Look at the exit speed he's carrying, Aaron. He's carrying some great speed in these lower bits.
Looking good, kind of finding those little pockets to pump. Inside line there. Haven't seen that yet, I don't think.
So he's 2.1 back at split 2, but he's definitely made some creative lines happen in this next sector. He's pulled back a small amount of time.
Yep, this is where it matters. Outside line there. Kind of taking a long way. It's smooth out there, but that is pretty far around.
Pretty far around. Going over the rocks rather than going through the rocks. The #1 plate and the overall series leader jersey. Was very proud to take that last weekend. The Pivot Factory Racing team. It's a mixed bag of results under the tent this weekend.
Oh, boy!
Oh, we spoke too soon. Now he's caught in the crash there. We saw Gloria Scarzi have a huge through the crash net there yesterday. Dane Jewett just got a little bit caught out in the braking bumps and the rocks.
Man, good save to not send that all the way up over the net there, but...
Oh, that was a great save. You just see he just got a little bit launched into the rut there. Got caught on top.
All right, he's got to keep pushing. There's points on the line, and he just gave up a couple of them.
That's right. Where is he? Is he going to finish to the line here? You cannot give up. You must still finish. Every point counts.
Yeah,
Raphael still come across the line into 8th with that mistake. So what has Dane Jewett got for us? He was obviously riding well prior to that mistake. He's dropped to 9.3 back. He's just outside of that 4-minute barrier, but not by much considering how big that mistake was. Dane Jewett across the line, 4:02. That's going to put him into a solid position even with that mistake. Dane Jewett, that drops him into 10th. So not too bad considering for our #1 seed, and here we go. We have 3 to go. Our fastest 3 junior seeds are about to drop in. Raphael Pelletier from the Muck-Off Young Guns.
This guy was fired up when he came across the line in qualifying yesterday. Great run from him.
Going to see him enter the woods up the top. So from the upper, somewhat bike park section, immediately into the steep and deep. Take a breath, put your seatbelt on, keep all arms and legs inside the plane at all times. We're on here. Raphael Pelletier.
Love these camera angles this year. Really gets you to, allows you to see all the cool sections of the track up there.
Ooh. Looks like he's carrying some good speed here. Gets across the inside line of that huge root garden.
Got the lucky 13 on the plate. I always love that number. That was nice, gapping out to the outside there.
He gets the high line there. That's been a pivotal part of our track so far, maintaining good speed around the outside. So he's got his lines on point here in Val d'Isole. You can hear him taking some audible breaths just to calm the farm before we get into the second half of our track.
Yeah, that is about the only flat section of track that he just rolled through right there. It is steep from here to the finish now.
So he's 2.2 back. A current hot seat, Milan Falquet, has put in a great run. Johnny Mosel still in second place, and Luke Wayman claims third. So what has Raphael got for us?
Yeah, looking smooth here, kind of hitting his lines. Just kind of got to keep in touch here. Yeah, he's falling back a little bit. I was going to say, he looks like he's maybe lacking a little bit of that intensity, but still a really good run going for him. Look at that section, just no more dirt left.
No dirt left. Rocks, roots, and chunder, and this section, insanely difficult.
Yeah, the highlights from that turn right there in practice the other day. The amount of crashes we saw in here was crazy.
If you haven't seen it already before our downhill women's and men's finals, have a little look-see. So, into the second split, he's 4 seconds back as he approaches our split 3. Maintaining good speed. He's getting slightly hung up in some of our holes here, so the momentum is maybe not on his side, but he's still charging, and there's still plenty of track left to charge here, Aaron.
Yeah, this is the key section here coming up. He's kind of trending the wrong direction, but be kind of curious. I think when you start to get towards the bottom of this track, you know it's almost over. If he can kind of find that last little bit of gas in the tank, maybe he can pull some time back down here.
You see his head starting to bob a little bit, so there's a little bit of fatigue set in as you pay attention to our riders. When you notice their backs nice and straight and their heads quite still, they're quite composed and ready. Raphael's got a bit of a bobble to him. Oh. He's getting a bit hung up in the G out towards the bottom. Hold on to it, young fella. Here we go.
It is so hard to keep your chest off the handlebars down here deep. The arms, the hands.
So hard. He's 7 seconds back from Milan. And still charging through this middle bit. Slaps that outside rut. Goes around the rock. I wonder if that's going to create a little bit of extra speed. Goes around the final rock there. Is he looking for a bit of reprieve, or is that going to give him some extra exit speed to the final couple of drops? Whoa, my goodness.
A little sideways off that. That's not where you want to be landing sideways. Holds on to it.
Hold on to it, Raphael, across the line. He's a couple of seconds back. Has he made up some time in that final bit? He has indeed. He's 7.4 back. That was a solid run from Raphael. He's a bit grumpy with it, but it was entertaining to say the least. All right, here we go. Raphael is through, and Asa Vermette
all right. It's
on
about
track
to get real.
It's about to get real. He got hung up last weekend with a small mistake.
Yeah, he rode, he had a crash in practice and hurt his shoulder a little bit. I think he's going to be fine. But he said that he was kind of on the fence whether he wanted to kind of roll out of the start gate and pull off for qualifying yesterday, actually put in a run. He decided to put in a run. I was chatting with Martin, his team manager. He said he was actually singing at the top. Oh, no. Oh, my.
Hold on to it. Asa.
Dude.
90-90 out of the third corner. That is not going to help the shoulder.
He's got to calm down here a little bit. Asa has all the speed he needs. It's just trying to find that limit has been the difficulty for him. He's so fast and talented on the bike. We've seen him do things that are already kind of up to elite, top elite pace, but got to be patient here and be smart. Link this track together. You can't override Valdesol. It'll make you pay.
It'll make you pay. He goes for the main line with confidence. Through the chunky root guard and through the bottom there.
What I was gonna say before I almost had a heart attack, that was he was singing in his qualifying run yesterday. His team manager said they were watching the GoPro footage back, and he was singing, and you could actually hear him singing down the top part of the run. He was just having a cruiser. He said he wanted to have a look at the track, and he was most concerned about the size of the nose wheelie he was going to be able to pull off in the finish line, which he told me he was very happy with at the end of his run, so that was good.
What are these young juniors like? Do you remember what he was singing?
I don't know. I didn't actually ask.
Well, Asa has recovered. He's charging hard. He's already made up for that little mistake at the top of the track. He's 0.2 back for split 2. Asa Vermette is back on track and in charge here, despite that injury. And despite that small mistake at the top of our Valdesol circuit, goes for that low line. Will he pull for the same line as Dane Hewitt? He does.
That was nice. Yeah, a lot of time here. If we can kind of clean this up, hopefully got the mistakes out of the way, up on the top of the track, and then I'll kind of check him a little bit, chill him out.
Well, he's charging hard for the bottom here. He's 0.2 back, so he is well within touch. He's made up for that early mistake, and he's hitting all his lines for the moment. He's regained that composure, which is so difficult for our young junior riders to do. Asa Vermette is on a run here. Can he make up for that time gap as he approaches the giant step down?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's up. He's up by 0.05, so there's nothing in it. It's all to play for in the lower section here. He hits over 58 kilometers an hour. Asa Vermette on that Frameworks Racing team. Hand-built bike by the one and only Nico Mullally.
I don't expect Asa to give up too much time here at the bottom. He's usually really strong at the bottom of racetracks. He'll be charging all the way to the finish. He's got to keep it clean.
He navigates that tricky corner. We've seen so many riders so far be claimed by that. He just misses the inside of those big holes, which will help that injured shoulder. Around the outside, he's still maintaining good speed. He's looking quite composed. Oh, big jet out into the open.
Yeah, extending a little bit here, but not much in it. He's definitely got to stay on it.
He has to stay on it. 0.5 of a second. He's getting faster. Will we see a bigger time gap towards the bottom here? He's into the finish arena. That shoulder must hold up. He had the fastest sector 2, the fastest sector 3. What has Asa got for us? We saw one of the sickest whips we've seen from anyone over the finish line in Leo Gang. Asa sprinting to the line. He's shaking his head with power, not with fury. Asa Vermette across the line with a 3:51 to claim the hot seat for our junior downhill men's final.
Good job, boy.
Were you happy with that endo? That wasn't too bad.
No, not bad. I think he could have went further if the barriers were moved back a little.
That's right. Oh.
Yeah, what a save. I was going to say, when he popped back in the camera, he was sitting on his seat. That usually lets you know that he's trying to get back clipped into his pedals. That was the mistake.
Oh.
Dude, that was
Look at that
level. We saw Jackson Goldstone do something similar last year in the elites, but way to hold on to it.
Maybe it was just enough to reset him, but hold on to your hats. It's not over yet. Max Alran, our winner from the Leo Gang World Cup from the Mosel Muck-Off by Riding Addiction team. Max is on track. He rode so cool, calm and composed last week, and there's a good chance it'll be dramatically different to Asa's run here today. What can he pull out? Goes for the launch over the rocks again. Got a big gaps here we have not seen from any other athletes here today. Max Alran is 2.1 up at the first split. Look at the composure of the young man.
We got ourselves a race. We know that's where Asa made the mistakes, and he was fairly clean from here on down, so Max is going to have to stay on it. This is looking really good to start.
Oh, him and Emery taking very similar lines down through that middle section there, just humping and pumping their way down through those huge rock holes. Max Alran is on one here. He's 2.1 up early. Can he continue the charge, or has he went too hard, too early? We saw Asa grow and his speed end time towards the bottom of the track, navigates that middle line to stay out of the rut, to carry some extra speed.
Looking very similar to what we saw out of him in his winning run in Leo Gang last week. Very composed here. Doesn't look like he's rushing. He's being patient, kind of letting it come to him. We'll see what the time tells us when we get to this split, but looking more like a veteran type of ride here. Oh, yeah.
Not visibly charging. He's dropped a little bit to Asa, and from this point on, this is where we saw Asa get faster and faster. So has Max pushed a little bit too hard, too early? Has he done enough to hold on to that cushion to the line? He gets across the outside. What line's he going to take through here? He goes for that inside. A lot less rock, a lot less space to get out of trouble.
Yeah, different lines we're seeing here than what Asa did. Be interesting to see what the time says when he gets down.
Straight through the biggest root garden on the track. What's Max got down the lower section here? Gets that high line.
That was nice.
That was really nice. Look at the exit speed out of there, that anticipation.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody hit that quite that good.
All right, here we go, Max. He's just looking like he's taking a cheeky rest here through the step down. What's he got for us? He's 2.5 up, so he's regained 0.6 of a second. Max Alran using that tall, strong style to his advantage. It is not over yet. Max has to charge to the bottom. 2.5 seconds can disappear in a heartbeat on a track like Val di Sole.
Feels like he's timing this pretty good. You can see the bike starting to skip around a little bit, like the intensity is just slowly building through this run.
Once again, goes for that inside, hits the rut with ease.
Yeah, making it look easy, man.
Look at the intricate details, just getting around those big rocks that have claimed so many riders already. Maintaining speed, he's 2 seconds up, so he's yo-yoing with Asa. It's on. They're up and down between the splits. He's got a couple of corners to go. He's slightly G'd out in that last corner. Cases the rock. He's getting a bit wild here. Max Alran needs to hold it together. He's almost 2 flat seconds up into the final couple of jumps. He scrubs the step down. Oh, we'd love to see it.
Asa had a huge last split down here, so he needs to push, but I think he's got enough to play with.
Max Alran to the line on the pedals as hard as he can. This needs to happen. He was 2 seconds up, and he's won the race with a 3:49. 2.3 seconds over Asa Vermette. The battle continues between two of our brightest young stars. Max Alran takes the win, his second win on the trot in spectacular fashion. It happened all the way to the line. A ding-dong battle between Asa Vermette and Max Alran is what we love to see. Wow, what a run. He rode that with a level of maturity that we have not seen in a while from a young junior. So the junior athletes are thriving at the moment. Max Alran claims the victory. Asa Vermette in second place. Milan Falquette in third. John Mosel with that stomping run into fourth. And Luke Wayman Into 5th, Ryder Lawrence from the Intense Factory team rounds out the top 10. And Dane Jewett with that costly mistake into the crash netting. Our series leader goes back to 13th position. Zach Bradley from Team High Country into 14th. And Mike Hooter in 19th. William Pugh holds on to 24th here today. And George Madley was 25th. We say goodbye to Aaron Gwynn right now as he gets ready for our Elite Women's show. It's been a pleasure to have him in the booth. It's been a pleasure to be here for the Junior Men's and Junior Women's final. The track is shaping up to be an absolute delight here this afternoon. So many lines, so many key sections, and so many incredible performances already from our Junior Women's and Junior Men's athletes. Eliana Holschbosch claims our Junior Women's, and Max Alran all the way to the line. Look at the composure from the man. He's barely breathing, eyes wide open, hands relaxed. Precision. What a run. Look at these doubles at the top.
Huge congratulations, Max. Wow, what a run. Back-to-back races, back-to-back wins, and fastest in every single sector. How much did you enjoy that?
Oh, so fun, but really hard. The track was destroyed, like, unbelievable. Like, but yeah, I'm really happy. Like, woo, fast.
What was the track like?
Oh, it's a war zone. It's completely destroyed. Like, the holes are so big, and if you want to push, it's hard. Like, physically, it's really hard. But yeah, so happy, and yeah.
Well done, Max.
Thank you.
Actually great to hear him breathing hard and pushing hard to the line. He had to fight for that one today. As he mentioned, it's a war zone out there, and surviving this track is a feat all by itself. So our Junior Men's downhill standings, Asa Vermette still continues his lead with Max chomping at his heels in second. Luke Wayman into third. Dane Jewett fourth, slides down with that mistake today. Milan Felkett in fifth. Brian Griffiths sixth. Daniel Parfit in seventh place. Raphael Gamby, Mike Hooter and John Mosel round out the top 10 till Alran, Max's brother, sits in 11th position right now. Noah Hurst-Walker into 15th. Ryder Lawrence into 17th. And Gavin Tomlinson 19th overall as we look at the standings. Zach Bradley with that performance here today gets into 28th overall. And Jack McLeod slides into 31st. Incredible racing here today. The war zone, as Max called it. We slide back down through the order. Luke Hooten from Canada in 46. Plenty of young junior talent on the circuit here for the 2024 Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series Round 8 and Round 4 of our UCI Downhill World Cup. It's been an incredible day. Let's take a look at some of our sector times. Max takes the first sector, and yo-yos with Asa for sector 2. Sector 3, the 48-second sector went to Max again, but Johnny Mosel made it happen in sector 4, so shows he's got the fitness and form to hold it together. But it was Max who brought it home for sector 5 to claim our fastest time of the day. So the perfect run would have been a 3:48, and Max came down a 3:49. So pretty close to perfection, which is great to see. The Val di Sole Trentino Italian round of our Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series, a staple of our series. It's been on the circuit since 2009. Very first race was the World Championships in 2008 and provided some of the best, most spectacular racing we've ever seen. And this year's edition is shaping up to be no different. We've had our short track cross country racing underway last night here, along with some 4-cross action. Sam Gaze, our current short track world champion, took the victory with his teammate Puck Petersea in the elite women. And tomorrow, Sunday Fun Day, will be our cross country Olympic racing. Will we see some of our Olympic hopefuls start to step up, claim their authority in the build up to the Paris Olympics? Will we see some fresh talent claim the top step? We're still eager to see what happens with the weather this afternoon. There is some rain predicted. We are in the mountains, so it can change at any second. It will change the course and conditions of this track dramatically if the sky does fall down, but right now conditions seem to be somewhat manageable for our riders as our junior women's get ready for our podium presentation. Really is cool to see how many strong, fast talent there is coming out of New Zealand at the moment. Fantastic young professionals and incredible bike handlers, and just locking out our junior women's podium here today. The 2023 Junior Downhill Women's World Champion Reese claimed third position, a bronze medal here today. She's got 4 wins to her name. She was on the podium last week and back up there again today. So the form is there and the pieces of the puzzle are in her hands, and she'll be eager to put them together, try and get that top step. Sasha Ernest, that was a great run from her today. Really composed, really solid. And probably the most technically demanding and physical track we've seen in quite some time. So Sasha Ernest from the Trek Factory Racing Gravity team, all the way from New Zealand, claimed second place, our silver medalist. And what a run from Eliana Holzbosch, the young Kiwi from the Union Trek team, forged by Steel City Media. Claims her debut, a victory here. She put in a wild ride last weekend in Leogang. Can't say this round was much less spectacular, but she held it together. There was no major mistakes. She rode that limit all the way to the line to claim the very first victory here today, and standing on that top step, proud as can be. What a moment. Not only with your mates, with your countrymen, 3 incredible athletes. Junior women's field providing some exceptional talent coming up through the ranks. So our elite women's, just like we heard from Shana Hearn before, they'll be keeping an eye on this. They'll be getting ready for the onslaught of the Kiwi talent, emerging into the elite ranks sooner rather than later. Our race village here in Val di Sole, Trentino, full of action as we take a look at our downhill standings for our junior women. Eliana Holzbosch leads by 5 points. Reese Van Leuven in second. Heather Wilson with that DNS today drops back down to third now. Tegan Heap from the Pivot Factory team in 12th. Amelia Dudek in 14th. And Nelly Avac in 15th there. The famous Black Snake roots have wreaked havoc. Some of our athletes here today, one person that did not was Eliana's run. Aggressive, powerful, controlled, and exciting. All the things we love about downhill racing. Whoa, look at that grip in there, like a bit of chalky cake. Goes for the outside line.